Welcome back to my channel and happy holidays. My name's Laura Watson, and in this video I'm going to show you how to paint 2 quick and easy Christmas cards. The first Christmas card we're going to paint is a simplified poinsettia flower in a pot. I'm just lightening my pencil lines with my kneaded eraser before I start painting. I have a few greens mixed up as well as some warm and cool reds using Scarlet Lake and alizarin crimson and pyrrole red, which is the same as Windsor red, and sap green as well as shadow green, and then just a little bit of yellow that I've mixed with some white and jaune brilliant. I'm starting off by painting the center of the flower with my yellow and just moving around in a bit of a stippling movement, leaving some white space on the paper still. Now with my number 2 brush, I'm going to move right into starting to paint the petals, and I'll be just switching around for my warm and cool red, using the warmer red at the top, the cooler red at the bottom, and I've just dabbed a little bit of sap green in the middle of the flower to fill in some of the background white while the yellow is still wet, so it kind of blends together. And then I don't mind if this red blends into the center a bit either. So I just take some paint wet on dry, then I rinse my brush, dab it on the paper towel, and then blend it out. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of the petals. Now I'm taking my sap green and I am painting in the stem and just blending out the color to the lighter edge a little bit. And then I will add in the leaves the same way that I did the petals. I'm painting the pot with my mix of titanium white with a little bit of green in it, and just an ever so slightly tint just so that it's not stark white, so that it shows up a little bit more on the white paper. And then again, I'm blending it out with a clean damp brush, and then I just need to add in the soil on the pot and then just do a few more layers. I'm using my 3-step painting method as usual. So I've laid down my base layers, then I'll do my dry brushing and adding in the details and veins and contour lines if there are any. And then after that, I will finish off with step 3 by adding more contrast and depth with smaller wet on dry washes and blending. Now I'm just finishing up the flower pot, painting the back edge that's showing, and then I will paint in some brown for the soil. I'm moving along, getting back to painting the flower, and unfortunately my battery on my camera ran out, so I didn't get to show you the part where I put in the veins of the flower, which is sort of step 2 of my painting process. So we're right on to step 3, which is wet on dry, just doing smaller contrast areas to build up shape and form and more contrast. So I've got some darker and lighter areas. Again, I still want my first layers to show through, so I'm not painting all over or blending this all over. I'm just sort of blending it out enough to smooth it a little bit and have some darker and lighter areas. I'm doing the same thing with the stem, and I'm using my 00 brush, and again just blending it a little bit, but I want that really high contrast. And now, just for fun, since this is a holiday card, I'm just using some gold from my Viviva Colors color sheets, and I'm putting a bit of gold over the yellow of the center of the flower just because it's a Christmas card and it makes it extra festive. Now I'm going over the veins on the leaves just because they got a little bit lost on the previous steps. And now back to the petals, I put purple and neutral tint into my red to make it extra dark. And I'm using my 00 brush just to add small areas of really dark color where these petals meet the center of the flower. And the funny thing is that poinsettias, these are actually leaves, but we call them petals because they look like the flower, but the flowers are actually just the little flowers in the center. But anyway, if whether you want to call it a petal or a leaf, I'm just adding that extra really dark paint so it looks a little bit more three-dimensional. Now I'm getting started on our little botanical teapot, and we're going to paint this little teapot full of evergreens and berries. And I've just started off with a little bit of green and titanium white mixed together, and I'm just painting that all over the teapot and making sure that I go right up to the edges and actually over the little motif that I've painted, because I'll be painting that in darker later when this is dry. And I'm just going around and painting that with my number 4 brush, and then I will get started on the rest of the botanicals. Now I've added some of my Holbein lavender to my sap green with a little bit of the titanium white mixed in. I'm just sort of mixing colors I already have on the palette together with new ones to create new colors, and I'm just painting in some of these leaves, which are like little boxwood leaves, and still just using the same brush. And this is really quick and easy. I'm not making this like a real botanical painting. It's just like a cute little illustration for Christmas, and fun and easy to do. So I hope that you give this a try as well. Now I'm just finishing up some of the smaller detail with my 00 brush, painting in the little stems and just making sure that everything connects before I start adding in a little bit more darker color for contrast and depth. And I'm just going to add in a little light wash of some of that brown paint that I have mixed up just at the base of the botanicals, because there'd be a bit of a shadow where the opening of the teapot is, just because otherwise it looks kind of contrived with them just sort of sticking out of a teapot with white space behind it. And now I'm just making sure I add all the stems onto those little berries as well. And you can see that it's starting to come together, even though I'm not taking really any time at all to do these botanicals. I can certainly paint better botanicals, but when you pair it all together, I think this still looks really cute. Now I'm going to just mix up a bit more of that darker color with lavender and paint the stripe on the rim of the pot, as well as the rim around the spout, which just really gives it a little bit more definition. And I'm just adding a bit of a waterier mix of this darker color to create some shadow. And that's it for this very simple little painting. I hope that you give it a try, and I'm just going to go over the Merry Christmas pencil I put in below with a pen. If you would like more Christmas card ideas and cute holiday illustration videos, then check out the links to my other videos below in the video description, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe for notification when I post a new video.